Hi everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Boss PvP series. This is the second part of my shade beating teams. So in the last video we focused more so on when Shade is a backup hero, so he's not the lead off attacker on the PvP defense. So in my opinion, that's probably the easier of the scenarios that you'll face when going against Shade is when he's not the first attacker. So if it comes down to attacking teams and trying to beat him, and you don't have Shade on offense, obviously those are going to be the easier ones to go after. So what this video is going to be for is going to be attacking Shade when he is the lead-off attacker, which has its own set of mechanics to it, and we'll hopefully try and get to a point where you can routinely defeat these teams. Now, as mentioned in the last video, typically when I do my PvP stuff, unless I'm trying to specifically finish a guild quest, I usually have a pretty straightforward team. I'm almost always using Zen, I'm almost always using Shade, and I'm almost always using Cobalt as well. So I have a very short list of heroes that I use for my PvP offense, and Shade is usually a large part of that. So the point of these two videos was for the people that are looking to beat Shade but don't have him on offense. And so I'm trying to offer up some alternatives for that. So assuming you don't have Shade but your hero roster is well developed enough where you could maybe implement some of these other teams. So like the last video, this is going to be a live recording. I'm not going back and editing any of the footage. I'm also not going to add the voiceover afterwards. So I'm recording it as I'm actually playing, so everything that I do is going to be legitimate reactions. My expectations are fairly high, but you know, anything can happen. You saw at the end of the last video, really shouldn't have won the PvP attack that I did, but I ended up getting a couple of lucky dodges in there, so anything can happen. So I have 3 raid tickets to use here, and the event is over with now, so I'm not going to get any of those back for participating or beating any more raids. So the goal here is to help provide some options as far as taking down Shade. Hopefully I can win at least one here and show you what I do to take on these teams. And much like the last video, I'm going to try and describe a little bit what I'm thinking about when I'm actually going through these, so that you can understand the thought process that goes into a PvP match. You can't just go in with a cookie cutter team and expect to dominate like maybe you had in the past, where you could just refresh until you get a team that you like. So let's take a quick look at our raids here. We're looking for we got some Shade teams here, so that's good. We're looking for a lead-off Shade attacker. So first one is not Shade lead-off. That would have been a good one to demonstrate before, but it doesn't fit our mold. Next one is just Kira and Arya. I would take that all day. I kind of wish I could attack that one now, but we'll save that one for later, perhaps. A Zen Valken would tear that team to shreds. Last one, 20,000. Okay, this is actually a very common type of team that I'm seeing. So Shade, Kozar, and Grognog are pretty much meta type heroes when it comes to PvP defense. And the reason for this is it spreads people thin in terms of how they're going to approach these attacks here. Because if you don't kill Grognog, he's going to slow your team. If he slows your team, Kozar gets to get his hit in, and he's probably going to one-shot the team. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one here because he's only level 66. I'm pretty sure that my attacks will do more to him than what his attacks would end up doing to me. He's probably got some strong runes on here. You can see there's some Vampiric, Greater Battle, Vampiric, Battle. Yeah, so he's gearing up heavily for a Kozar attack here. He did throw that Bulwark on there, which kind of doesn't really fit the mold. If you're going to go all-out attack with Kozar, I would just say go all-out attack with Kozar. If he's going to try and one-shot people, you probably should swap out that blue rune. Ultimately, though, I need to see what the scoop is with Shade. Shade is the biggest. He's the biggest factor when you're attacking a lead-off Shade team, because you need to be able to survive this attack. If you don't survive this attack, your entire plan falls apart. So I need to see what he's got going on. He's got greater power, bulwark, vampire, bulwark, and bulwark. So his shade is defense based. So that actually does not scare me in the slightest, which basically tells me that I'm pretty convinced that I am going to get off my Zen attack. So if I get off my Zen attack, it's just a matter of saying, okay, what do we do about these other guys? Can I kill those other guys fast enough? Being that he is level 66, I think I probably can. So I got a pretty decent team to handle this one here. I don't really care so much about Kira. I'm going to get my attack in before him. He's probably got some critical stuff on here. Bulwark, that's kind of a waste in my opinion. Vampire, that's good. Battle Rune is good. Improved Bulwark. Yeah, he's got kind of a mixed bag of runes. So he's not really committing to all-out defense or all-out offense. He's kind of going with a balance. And I think, honestly, King James, I think that is going to be your undoing. So first things first, just for everybody watching here, when you're dealing with lead-off shade, you have to have a decent Zen. So this is kind of this is a long time overdue for me. I've been playing with just a moderate Zen, and I've been getting by for a long time. But I don't tend to attack lead-off shade teams either. I tend to attack lead-off Kai teams or lead-off Kira teams. I tend to avoid Black Diamond, I avoid Shadow Blade, and I avoid Shade because they tend to really have it out for my Zen. So I haven't upgraded my Zen in a long time. Now I wish I had more stars on him, but that's just kind of how it is. So we're going to take a quick look at him, and we're actually going to give him a pretty good buff going into this, because if we're going to take on Shade teams, we can't be sitting back with a poor Zen anymore. He's weight on him list. Oh, just looking at the overview, yeah, this is pretty nasty stuff. If you just look at those stars and runes, those are absolute garbage. So just by adding some to that, they're all only level 20s too. I mean, these are not good at all. So let's do some patchwork with him first. So let's remove, and I'm gonna salvage that thing. That's garbage. Salvage again. See what I got in my rune stores here. And I actually got good runes laying around. I don't know why I haven't equipped these, to be honest. Here we got Bulwark and Aegis just sitting there. I might have crafted those the other day. I'm not really sure. We're gonna throw both of these on him. I was probably planning on putting him on Zen, and I just never did. But I'm not. I'm not going to complain about it. So we definitely need these on here. This one here's kind of neat. Plus 11 damage versus Elf. I don't know if that's ever going to come up, but I got to do a couple of quick upgrades here. Probably going to run out of gold, and yeah, I'm going to run out of essences already. Alright, let's find some Celestial Evos here. There we go. These aren't needed. So let's get a few of these. So this is one of the benefits of watching a live video. You get to see all this nonsense that I wouldn't normally include in a video. But this is just part of the game. Upgrade runes, maybe do some rune crafting, squash some evos, get some rune essences and such. But this also is a important part of PvP as well. You gotta have good runes if you're gonna compete at this. So we're going to leave no stone unturned when it comes to upgrading our Zen. Like I said, your Zen should have already been a good, solid player. And since mine wasn't, that's kind of my own fault. Any PvP match that I lose is basically on me anyways, because I'm letting Zen die. So if this bores you, you can always fast forward a little bit. Otherwise, stick around here. Alright, so improve focus. This is pretty much junk. I don't care about that either. We're looking for something that's got a little bit of health on it. Power, battle, destruction. Not a lot of options out here. Let's see what these guys got on here. Skill, dodge, and health. That's actually pretty good. Attack, crit, attack. I don't need attack. I don't need resist. We're going to go with the skill, dodge, health. That's better than nothing. I'm not going to worry about crafting some red runes right now. I don't have time for that. All right, improved life, health, defense, dark resist. I do like the dark resist. We have battle power, life, health, fire. I don't care about that. I don't have any bulwarks, so my Aegis down here is decent, but it's not the best. You know what? Let's come back to that one. Let's check out blue quick. Improved Aegis, we have 3.4 and 1.86. Life, health, defense, that's a good one. Damage, 5.5, that's actually more than what I have now, plus it's got defense and dodge. So let's remove this one and put that other one on there. It's a little bit better. Where did it go? Dodge chance. The dodge chance might help a little bit. Honestly, I don't put a lot of stock into dodge here. Let's see what we can actually craft for our nature rune here. I'd like to get a really nice Aegis rune in here, so... Oh boy, that kind of sucks. Greater. Just need one water essence. I could craft that. Superior looks like, actually looks like it's close to being craftable. I haven't touched superior runes in quite some time. I haven't really had a lot of luck with them. Let's see this here once. Frost Spirit. Spirit. Well, how about that? Let's create 2 Frost Spirits. And now let's go back to that... There we go. Okay. You are witnessing history now here. We are going to craft a superior Aegis. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope for a couple of things. One, that I don't run out of gems. I only have 1,100. I feel like to completely go the distance with superior, it might take around 1,200. And on top of that, I'm actually hoping for a good stat layout too. So I'm committed to the full gems here. So hopefully I get lucky. So primary role gives us shitty rune. We have reduction, health, and defense, 3 decent traits. I'm not going to complain about that. I wish it would have been a higher starting. If this one doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. I guess not much I can do about that. But I can see the gem cost is going to be outrageous for this. So 4 stars, but still not a very good one. There we go. At least we got to heroic. But no extra little bonuses on it. That's kind of a bummer. Would really, really love a superior right now. Or a legendary. And I hate to say it, but it's probably not going to go that route. We got an extra star out of it. So the odds of this last one being legendary, not there. So I could either buy gems right now and do the last roll. Personally, I just don't have a lot of confidence that it's going to actually yield much. So I'm going to take the damage reduction that I got in the health and defense. This will be a good solid rune for Zen. So it didn't work out the best, but you're not always going to get these legendary runes. So I'll take it. And I was right about the gem cost, so it looked like I was 40 short. So I started out with 1,100. So let's just say ballpark, it takes 1,200 gems for a superior rune. So all right, so let's go back to Zen and put that bad boy on him. I'm going to be pretty much out of gold, too. It's hard to believe just a couple of weeks ago I had like 60 million gold, and I've been on kind of a rune fix lately, and can't seem to get enough. And another benefit of playing live, my runes are just not cooperating here. I'm going to back out of my little hero menu here. For whatever reason, some seem to have been frozen there. Probably because I just spent a bunch of gems. Try and get in there once more. At least now after today, my Zen shouldn't need an upgrade for quite some time. The only thing he'll need is that last star on there, which I would obviously like to get on there. Alright, let's remove this, unequip, find our superior Aegis, which is right there. This is probably going to be 4 million to upgrade, or close to. It's not legendary, so it's not going to be the super expensive, but it's not going to be cheap. So we're at 13,251. And we're 1 million down. We're partially through. 13,251 down to 10,4. So it's about, let's just say ballpark at 3 million gold to upgrade that one. So not the cheapest thing. I'm gonna get down to under 10 million pretty soon here. I'm gonna have to start stockpiling. So damage reduction 9%, health 400, defense 200. That's gonna be a pretty decent Zen. I think he should be able to last better than he has been for me in the past. Not the greatest stats, but really he only has to survive for pretty much one turn. Alright, so let's go back to the actual PvP then, and I'll talk about what my plan's going to be for actually doing this. So, dungeon, actually I just got another raid ticket, so I got four attacks to attempt here, and we'll see how many of them I can actually do. Alright, so this was the guy I was going to pick on, King James. So here's the methodology that's going to go into this. Shade's going to do his normal attack, and so when he does his haunting thing, most times when you're playing against the equivalent level, Shade's probably going to kill somebody, and that's just kind of the way it goes. Now he's got a couple of bulwarks on his Shade, so I feel like no matter who he attacks, I'm probably going to be able to soak it, which basically means I kind of have a free-for-all on my first attack. I can do Zen plus anybody. So I have to think for a second who's going to be the actual biggest threat here when we whip these things out. And so what I'm mostly concerned about, and I've been using this quite a bit, when I see Grognog out there, I like to really take him to the cleaners with Viperia. Probably one of the most fun, and using Zen Viperia, if you can survive it, has a couple of different benefits to it. First off, Viperia is going to purge the buffs from Shade. So you can never go wrong with purging those buffs. So if you don't have Viperia or she's really weak, you could try and sneak Sume in there instead. He would have the same basic effect. But I tend to find Viperia is just, she dishes out a ton of damage. And actually, I don't even have her fully ascended, and I don't have her at 6 stars either. So the fact that mine does decent with just moderate runes is actually pretty impressive. So I've been using her quite a bit. And plus, I just find her, kind of fun to use. So when we have an at-level Shade that you're going against, like I said, when you go against Shade or Shadowblade, for whatever reason, they love to pick on Zen. So if you don't think that Zen can hold up against him, no, I think my Zen probably will. I don't think he's going to die. But what I will usually do then is bring along another goat instead. And my goat of choice is actually Leo. So Leo serves two purposes here. One, he's a decent tank. He serves as an alternative light hero for a dark hero to attack, and he actually negates the elemental bonus. So he actually has kind of a purpose. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to either Zen's going to die on the first turn or he's not. And so if Zen dies, then I need another fast hero at least to get in some attacks before those other guys do, just to possibly hold out any hope. So my other fast hero of choice is usually Kira. Kira is he's max epic for me, and he's got some really nice runes on him. So if their Shade wants to be kind of douchey and he goes after and kills Viperia because it detects that it's going to be a high output of damage from AoE and they attack Viperia, then what I'll end up doing is I'll actually enlighten Kira and take 2 attacks there and try to dish out enough damage to Kozar so that he can't one-shot the team. After that, then we're just hoping for Leo to do his job and resurrect Viperia when he dies, and then hopefully I can dish out an attack that way. So I do have a little bit of attack power advantage. I'm feeling pretty good about this one here. Like I said, unless I miss something on that shade where there's some passives on some of those buffs that says like plus 10% damage in PvP, which I do have one of those on Kira, which catches a lot of people off guard. I don't think that anybody's going to die on that opening attack. The one person that probably would is actually Viperia, because she's kind of built like a glass cannon for this account here. But I don't see, with 3 light heroes, I can't see Shade attacking Viperia. It's just not likely. And this is here actually probably the best possible option, because Kira, he'll be able to soak that pretty easily. He can't be crit against, there's no elemental bonus, and he's just tough from being epic. So now it's pretty much, it's going to be the Viperia show, and this is going to actually be pretty fun. If this does not kill Grognog, I'll actually be moderately disappointed. But there's snakes on the plane, and here we go. Didn't kill him. I guess probably should have looked over the runes on him, I guess. So now all we have to do is we have to determine where do we want to do our next attacks. We have a lot of options. Honestly, I think Kira's going to clean up when it's his turn. So conventional wisdom says to probably try and attack Kira to kill him, but I have a sneaky suspicion that he's probably going to dodge. And then if he dodges, is he going to kill my team? He's probably not going to kill Kira, so Kira's going to get a turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another pot shot on Grognog just to make sure that he actually dies. And then I'm playing into the fact that I think I'll survive against Kira, which I should. So a little bit of extra damage on Grognog. A crit would have been nice there, but it is what it is. Yeah, there, Kira, he was very poorly ruined. He must be ruined for defense or something, because he did almost no damage. So this should take care of both the purples. There goes Shade. Kozar is going to get an attack in there, so that's a little bit... Yeah, I guess Kozar and Grognog are both geared heavily defensive, which is probably why he survived Viperia's attack. Well, that was a little bit disappointing. I was going to say I was not expecting that, but he's going to use his Snow Day. That's kind of a bummer there. Well, I tell you, I had high hopes going into this one. That's kind of sad. Realistically, I think that was a pretty good team, but... well, it's a loss. A loss is a loss. There's no point dwelling on it. I wish I could go back and look to see what his runes were, because I don't think I looked at him, because I'm used to just dominating the heck out of Grognog, to be honest. Another lead-off Shade. This guy seems is way lower in level, so I'm not really concerned there. He doesn't have Grognog, so I don't really need Viperia for this one. I could use Leo again as a distraction. Basically, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna dump Leo, because I didn't really want him. I'm actually going to go a different route, because we're using Zen Viperia. Viperia is going to purge the buffs. We're going to go Zen Viperia and then try to get a little freeze on there to negate Kozar. And being that he's lower level, I'm kind of hoping that Kira is just going to clean up anyways. Okay, so Shade shouldn't kill anybody here. I did make a cardinal mistake, though. I didn't look at any of the runes. I kind of broke my own rule. Yeah, that's foolish of me. I guess that serves me right there. That is live video 101. But the nice thing about a lead-off Shade team, when they kill Zen, they almost always, my guys almost always get successful retaliation kills. The only downside now is I don't know if Viperia is going to be able to survive Ponti's first attack. I might kill him here, but yeah, it still definitely threw my game off. So we will purge. We're going to purge that little buff that Kozar's hanging on to. This guy's low enough level where he shouldn't have the same luck that the last guy had. Honestly, King James, kudos to you because you obviously had some good defense, and I was a little bit overconfident, I guess. But unfortunately, Fish Loops here is not going to be as successful. So there's one successful attack with a lead-off shade. Probably not the best benchmark because he was so much lower level than me. We'll see if we can get one that's a level 70, so we can really stack up against that. 65, that's the same one as before. That's the same guy as before too. And this one's not what I want. So let's throw a refresh on there. I don't really care about the streak right now. And level 70, a yellow team, that one would be fun to attack. Shatter team, kind of. That's an interesting team as well. This is interesting because a couple of days ago, I was the same team. Shade, Kozar, Grognog, all day, every day. Couldn't find anybody else. So lead off Shade. This here is going to be beast mode of a team because we have three fast heroes. So Vampire, Bulwark, 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 Bulwark. Okay, so when I see Bulwark, this is the defensive shade. He's playing into the fact that he wants to do his Spirit Link. He wants to do Possession. So he's going for the survival game. So what we need to do is we need to determine how are we going to handle this team. So we're probably going to get a perfect Zen attack. Zen's going to do whatever he wants. And now we have to deal with Shadowblade. Looks like he's not poured a lot of runes into Shadowblade. Most people, when they're using Shadow on PvP defense, he is runed to the nines in terms of attack. Because a lead-off Shadowblade is probably one of the single most devastating attacks you can do. So, do I need to do the Zen Viperia? Purging on those two guys, I don't know if that's necessarily important, because I want to get 2 attacks in with Kira because I want to be able to make sure I do some extra damage before Shadowblade attacks. Even if Shadowblade doesn't crit, he might still kill somebody, so I'm a little bit concerned there. So while I would normally, if it was anybody else but Shadowblade, if just Kira would have been on the end there, I probably would use Viperia again, just like I said, because I've been having a lot of success with her. So my main plan here is going to be to go with Zen and Kira for sure. And then we need to fill the gaps with 2 others. So we're going to go with Cobalt first. And then we're going to go with Kira. And then what we're going to do to shake things up a little bit, we're going to add Emily in there. Now, Emily's kind of a risk because if you go with Emily and she gets killed and you don't kill Shade, it's going to be pretty bad for you because you don't want to give them free revives. But my plan here is if they decide to kill Cobalt, no harm, no foul, because they're going to all be diseased. Well, not technically, I guess, because I'm not purging, Cobalt's not going to disease them because they'll have immunity to it. So Cobalt's in there just kind of as an attacker. He dishes out a ton of damage, and, I like to have him in there. But he's one more distraction to take away from attacking Zen. So in most cases, I usually go Zen Cobalt, but because they... I don't know, it just seems risky here. I probably could. I would normally want to if there wasn't a Shadowblade in there, that's the real question. You know what? Screw it. Let's do Zen Cobalt and hope that I get to my Kira attack. So I don't care if it diseases them. I just want to dish out some damage. And of course, Kira dodged. So the backup attack that I always do, even if I would have killed two people and the arcane bolts would have came up, I like to use Cobalt for this because if he gets an epic attack, it's lights out, no matter who you're attacking. And that would have obviously killed him, but and this here actually didn't matter. He can go ahead and kill Cobalt, not a problem. So this here will take care of Kozar. Kozar is going to be toast. And so now we have to look forward what's going to be the next phase of this match here. So Shade is going to do Spirit Link. We don't know who, but he's definitely going to Spirit Link. Oh, that sucks. I was really, really hoping to get Cobalt back. On the plus side, he's not going to possess. He's not going to possess Emily. On the negative side, he's probably going. No matter who he possesses, it's not going to be good for me because they'll both have elemental advantage. So, Shade has Spirit Link, and Shadow has his elusive. We have to try and kill Kira. Yeah, but that's pretty much the end of it for me. At least he went with Shade and not with Kozar. But honestly, I think my Shade or my Cobalt is pretty awesome. Well, I have to say that one was moderately disappointing. If Emily wouldn't have ran away, I felt like that could have been a lot different. Maybe just you guys watching and having seen who I was up against, maybe you thought my team was poor to start with and that didn't really have a chance. And maybe that was the case. I don't consider myself an expert by any means. But like I said, I thought I had that one. So I think I have one more. Yep, I still got one more raid tickets. I know we're going on 30 minutes here, but if you've stuck with it this long, I thank you. All right, this one here will be a lot more successful with the Zen Cobalt because Astrid's not going to survive that. My last person that I'm going to put on here, I'm going to go a different route though. I'm going to go with Leo again. So, best case scenario is Shade goes after Leo first. Or even Kira. He can go after Kira if he wants. But basically, Zen and Cobalt are the ones that I want to keep. His Shade's a lot lower level here. And again, I kind of broke my own rule again. I guess I'm not thinking clearly tonight. It must be getting too late. I didn't check any of the runes, and normally when I do PvP, I'm checking every single rune on every guy because I want to know what they're playing with. I guess in the interest of speeding things up, I just overlooked that, I guess. So not the best in terms of what I was hoping for. So I could kill Zen, but they're going to retaliate against me, so I don't really want to do that. Kira's going to go before Ashrid and before Ponty, so we are going to try and get a pot shot on Shade. He took that one pretty well. He's probably got some bulwarks on. Let's do Kira. Wow, dodge much. That's a bit, we gotta do this. We gotta get the taunt out there. It's one of the nice things about Leo is his taunt. At least if he doesn't die here, at least I know that Shade's gonna do Spirit Link on him. So not a huge issue. Oh, actually maybe it is because he's taunted. Oh, but he skipped it anyways. And my own Shade is used against me. Alright, so I have two things to look forward to. One, if they pick on Zen, I have my beloved trait. And two, you can never count out my Kira. My Kira is pretty amazing. Man, that I do not know how he's surviving that, even with his little bone armor. He should be getting absolutely toasted. Oh my god. Alright, he had some sort of burning skin or something. I did not see that coming. He definitely got me good. Kudos to him. Fiery K. Well played, good sir. Well played. Alright, so I guess I'll take the invincibility. Being that I'm diseased, he's not going to do any damage anyways. And honestly, I can't beat him anyways. I have 3 guys to get through, plus I have to kill Ponty twice. And I could be a douche and just retreat, but I'm not like that. That's not how I roll. So I'll let him kill me. He's obviously earned it. I didn't do my diligence and scout out the attack properly, so... Okay, so what did we learn here? We learned that my ability to obviously take out Shade is a little bit less than what I believed it to be, if we're being honest here. But don't let that deter you. I have beaten Shade more times than I can count. But obviously, scout out ahead of time. This one here was not as successful as I had anticipated, so I will definitely make it up, and I am going to do a 3rd video now too, and we'll go at it again and try and pick some better teams. So if you have any suggestions to some of the teams that I picked, if you thought that somebody was a glaring mistake, feel free to let me know in the comments. I would be glad to test out teams if you don't want to sacrifice your own PvP standings in the event of trying some teams out. By all means, let me know what sort of roster you have, who your best guys are, and if there's any particular teams that you're seeing all the time, like the Shade, Kozar, Grognog. Definitely let me know, and we can focus on some specific teams and some specific tactics. So, with that said, we're gonna wrap things up here, and thanks for watching. Stick around. We'll have another video soon. Thanks.